So hello students, today we are going to discuss about acid, bases and salt. It is a topic of class 7, and till now we have discussed what are acid, bases and salt. Now we are going to discuss about indicators. So if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it and press the bell icon so that you will get the notification. So let's start. So see here, indicators. Now what are indicators? We have already studied about acid, bases and salts. So they almost looks same. When you mix acid or bases or salt in water, then they will dissolve in water, and you will find that there are no dissimilarity. They will almost look like a water only. So how we will find out whether the solution is acid or bases or salt? So in this situation, the indicators help us to find whether the solution is acid or bases or salt. So this is the uses of indicators. Okay. Now you see, indicators are of two types. First is natural indicators and second is man-made indicators. Okay. So what are natural indicators? So those indicators which are naturally found, these indicators are known as natural indicators. And man-made indicators are those indicators which are made by humans, or they can be prepared artificially with the help of mineral salts. Okay. Now you see, natural indicators. Now our first natural indicators is bryophyllum leaves. Okay. Bryophyllum leaves. When you put these leaves in acid, or when you make paste of these leaves, or when you make solution of these leaves and you will put in acid, then acid will turn, it will turn pink in color. Okay, the leaves will turn pink in color. Okay, so bryophyllum leaves, you have to first extract a colorless solution of these leaves. Now when you extracted a colorless solution of these leaves, you pour it in acid and check that what color it changes. Now you will see that it changes into pink color. So this shows, if it changes into pink color, then it shows that it is a acid. Okay, the solution is acid. Okay, just take, this is a solution, this is a beaker, and here is some solution. Okay, so how we will find out whether it is acid, base or salt? So first we have to extract the water soluble solution or solution of bryophyllum leaves. Then you have to pour this in acid. Now if acid color changes to pink, then we will understand that the solution is acid. Now if I pour in another solution and the solution color changes to yellow, then it is base. Okay, in this way we find out whether the solution is acid or base. Next is the litmus paper. Litmus paper are extracted from lichen planets. Okay, now there are two kinds of litmus paper found, that are blue and red. Okay, so you see, when you, okay, two kinds of litmus paper are found, one is red and another is blue. So this is litmus paper, just take it. This is blue litmus and this is red litmus. So you just take it that this is red and this is blue. Okay, so litmus paper which is blue in color, if you put this litmus paper in acid, then the color of the litmus paper changes to red, not the color of the acid. The color of the litmus paper changes to red. Okay, the color of the litmus paper changes to red. Again, when you put this red litmus paper in base solution, then the color of the bases, sorry, the color of the litmus paper changes to blue. So in this way, litmus paper is used to find out whether the solution is acid or base. Remember, in acid the litmus paper changes to red. Okay, in acid the blue litmus changes to red, and in bases the red litmus changes to blue. The paper color will change, not the acid color will change. Okay, Okay, these are some natural indicators, and apart from this there are some other natural indicators also. They are red cabbages, okay, and turmeric. These are also natural indicators. Now we'll see man-made indicators. So man-made indicators are those which are made by humans with the help of mineral salts. So these man-made indicators are so man-made indicators are which are those which are made by humans. Okay. Now first our man-made indicator is methyl orange. Now you see methyl orange. What happens that when you pour methyl orange in acid, its color changes to red orange. Okay. Now when you pour methyl orange to base, its color changes to orange. So in this way we find out whether the solution is acid or bases. Next is phenolphthalein. This solution is also used to find out whether the solution is acid or bases. Okay. Now when you pour phenolphthalein in a solution, then in acid it remains colorless, and in bases it turns pink. So in this way we find out whether the solution is acid or bases. Okay. So we have seen how indicators help us to find out whether it is a acid or base. So hello students, now we are going to discuss acid and bases in our day-to-day life, how it affects our day-to-day life. Now first you see, first is tooth decay. Our first topic is tooth decay. Now do you know there are some bacteria present in our mouth. Okay. Now these bacteria feed on the food that we eat. Okay. So what happens that when we eat, some of the food remains in our teeth, or it forms. What happens that this bacteria present in the in our mouth, they eat only those foods, or they eat only those sugars which are present in our mouth. Okay, they eat and they forms cavity. Okay. Now what happens that this bacteria turns this sugar slightly acidic. Now due to formation of acid in our mouth, there may causes damage of our tooth, and which causes tooth decay. Now why tooth decay are caused? Tooth decay are caused basically due to the bacteria present in our mouth. Okay. So this is tooth decay. So you see from here we have seen that acid affect us. Okay, since it causes tooth decay. Now why acid causes tooth decay? If the level of acid comes down, then it will causes tooth decay. Now who helps to calm down the or who helps the food to become slightly acidic? The bacteria helps. Okay. Now next topic is acid rain. Now what is acid rain? So you see, you might have heard that rainwater is slightly acidic. Now rainwater is why slightly acidic? See, rainwater, it contains water and hydrogen, but you see carbon dioxide are also present in the air. Now this carbon dioxide present in the air, they mix with water and hydrogen and form carbonic acid. Okay. Now they form carbonic acid, which is a weak acid. So they mix with the water and fall, so it is slightly acidic. Now you see this rainwater, what happens that some of the waste that are live in the air from the industry. Okay. Now industrial waste, okay, they leave some of the waste like this. You might have seen that industries are leaving pollutants. Okay, these pollutants contains nitrogen and sulfur. Now they mix with the air and form nitrogen oxide and sulfur oxide. Okay. Now they mix with the atmospheric atmosphere, and they form acid, and this acid mix with the rain and falls down, and this forms the acid rain. So how acid rain is formed? Acid rain is formed when the nitrogen and sulfur from the industry mix with the rainwater, they form the rainwater, they makes the rainwater acidic, and this rain falls down, and this we call acid rain. Okay, so it is very harmful for those things like our old monuments which are very old, and they affect or they damages those monuments. Okay, now this is what acid rain. So how acid rain is caused? So acid rain is caused due to the mixing of nitrogen and sulfur, this type of gas which are left by the industry as a pollutants. Okay, now they mix with the water and they form acid, and this acid falls down, and this is only acid rain. Now next topic is our pH scale. Now what is pH scale? pH scale is basically used to measure the strength of acid and bases. So pH scale, it is used to measure strength of acid and bases. Okay, now it is used to measure the strength of acid and base, how strong acid or base is. So you see, this scale has a range from 1 to 14. If any substance whose pH scale is 1, it is very strong acid, and whose pH scale is 14, it is very strong, considered as very strong bases. Now whose pH scale is whose pH scale is 7, this substance is considered as neutral substance. So you might have seen that the pH scale of water is neutral. Okay, so water is neutral. So pH scale, it is a scale to measure strength of acid and bases, and it ranges from 1 to 14, and 7 is the stage where it becomes neutral. If pH is 1, if for any substance pH is 1, then it is strong acid, and if pH is 14, then it is strong, it is considered as strong base. Now if the pH scale is below 7, then it is considered as acid, and if the pH scale is above 7, then it is considered as base. Okay, those substances are considered as base. Okay, so now we will go for the next. So students, now we are going to discuss about neutralization. So what is neutralization? You see, when acid and bases, when acid and bases, they react together, then they form salt and water, and this reaction is known as neutralization reaction. What means that in neutralization reaction, the acid loses its acidity, and the bases it loses its alkalinity, and as a result they becomes neutral or they become salt. Okay, this is neutralization reaction. Now you see how useful the neutralization reaction can be. So these are some of the uses. For example, indigestion. So what is the cause of indigestion? See, in our stomach hydrochloric acids are present, which is used to kill germs that are present in our food. But you see, if the volume of hydrochloric acid increases, it may cause acidity, which may cause stomach ache in a person stomach. Okay, now this may be painful, so in order to subside the effect of stomach ache, we use solution that are slightly basic. So the person will take tablets which will contain ammonium hydroxide or magnesium hydroxide. As a result, the acidity decreases or reduces, and it becomes neutral. So he will get released from the pain. Next you see, when insect bites. So insect bites are very painful. So when sting or wasp, when it bites, it contains formic acid. Now they release formic acid, which is very painful. Now in order to reduce its effect, we use the solution dilute ammonium solution. Okay, now this dilute ammonium solution contains zinc carbonate as a base, which neutralizes the effect of acid, means formic acid. In this way we treat those patients which got insect bites. Okay, protecting teeth. Now in our teeth there are some bacteria present. If we take the food, then they feed on those food and they create acid in our mouth. As a result, what happens that our tooth decay starts, which damages our teeth. Now in order to get rid of this, we use toothpaste. Now what is the uses of toothpaste? Toothpaste are slightly alkaline or slightly basic. Now what happens when we use alkaline solution, then it neutralizes the acid that has formed in our teeth as a result, and we get released from the tooth decay. Okay,